Hi everyone, Sean here from Skills21, and today we're going to talk about how to use an H5 handy recorder from Zoom to get better audio for film and digital media productions. So the Zoom H5 is a portable digital recorder, which means that it's going to record audio files to something like an SD card. In this case, it has an SD card slot on the side. It's a 4-track modular recorder, and what that means is that it could record up to 4 things at once, 4 channels of audio. And modular means that this little top set here can come off if you push the 2 pins on the side. And this is actually, it's just a microphone capsule. So with this device, you could change out that capsule on top, and actually have another one here, which is the SSH6 capsule. And if you just pop that on there, you could sort of swap out which microphones you're using to record if you want to use those onboard, like built-in microphones. So that's the main sort of deal with it. That's 2 tracks at least, though. On the bottom, you have 2 more inputs, and so that's your 4 tracks. So you have 2 on top with whatever capsule you're using, and you also have 2 on the bottom, so you could plug in XLR cables. If you have microphones and you want to use XLR cables for them and use your own microphones, you could use them there, or TRS cables, which would be something like kind of like a guitar cable. If you had specific uses for that, it'll let you use it and you could record to them. On the front of the device, you see all the buttons to deal with all of this. The first things you have are your recording buttons that allows you to pick what you're going to record, but we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. And then you have your normal stop, play, pause, forward, back, and record buttons. On the side, you have a menu button, a little rocker to navigate the menu, and a place to plug in a remote if you wanted to use a wired remote. And then on the other side, you have a line out, which is cool if you want to record straight to a camera. You could plug in something like a headphone cable into here and into your camera if your camera supports that, and you could just pipe the audio right into your camera and record to the video instead of to the SD card. And you have a headphone jack if you want to plug in headphones to monitor or listen to your recording while you're making it. You have a volume rocker for playback audio, so like the level of the playback when you're listening to your tracks. A USB port, and your power button. Alright, so let's actually talk about recording. When you get your device, you want to pop the batteries in the back, 2 AA's that should be in the package. And then on the side, put your SD card into the side, which is either the one that it came with, or you could use your own. It's a normal size SD card slot. So the first thing you want to do normally with any new SD card is format it with the device, which means it's going to wipe anything that's on it, so be sure you want to get rid of anything that's on that SD card. But we're going to do that. So to do that, you want to turn the device on, which means that you push this rocker down here to the power side and hold it down for a second, and then it should turn on. And then we're going to go into the menu once it sets up. Okay, we're going to hit menu, which is on the side, the little menu button. And then we're going to scroll all the way down to SD card, and then you just push in that little rocker to actually click anything. If you want to go back, always just hit menu, but we're going to go to format, click that, and then are you sure? Yes. It's going to wipe the card, but it's also going to format it to work well with this system. Okay, going to hit menu a few times and we'll get back to our main page. Alright, so earlier I mentioned that it's a modular recorder, so you could change microphone capsules. I think it's a good idea to always change microphone capsules when the device is off, so I'm going to turn it back off. And now you get to pick which microphone you want to record with, if you're trying to use one of the standard ones. It comes with this XY stereo capsule, and XY is just the way that it's set up. It's a microphone technique. But stereo is really what you care about. Stereo is the normal like 2-channel left and right that you'd have on headphones or music that you're listening to. And this is just a little capsule to record stereo audio. If you don't want to use that and you have something like this, which is the SSH6 capsule, this is something that's called a shotgun microphone, and it's just called that as a term because it picks up sound in a very specific direction. So they're used in film and broadcast for picking up audio really in a controlled way. So it doesn't like to pick up sound from the sides. It really focuses on what's directly in front of the capsule. So we'll test out with this one because it's a great one to use for film. It gets rid of sound that might be around the actor or the subject and really focuses on what they're either saying or whatever you're trying to record right in front. So if you just push in the side buttons and pop it on, it should be all good. And then if we turn the device on like we did before, it should load up and be set to use this microphone. So now that you have your microphone on the device, let's talk about what you should be doing to record. The first thing to worry about is what file type you're going to be recording to. You could record to a bunch on this device, but probably the most common for film is called 48 kilohertz 16-bit, which is a bunch of numbers. It's not really the important thing. What's important is knowing how to get there and mess around with which file type you're recording to. So to do that, you hit the menu button on the side, then scroll down to record, click that, and change the record format. Gives you a few options here, and I'm just going to go down to a WAV file at 48 kilohertz 16-bit. Click that, and now that's set. I'll go back. And if you notice on the bottom corner of the screen, it'll tell you what format you're recording in. But anyway, now we've picked the file format that we're going to record to. We actually have to tell the device which microphones we want it to record with. So that's what these 4 buttons are for. Like I said, it was a 4-track recorder, so it could record 4 channels, and these are those 4 channels. Whenever you want to record something with this, you have to pick the channels that you want it to record. So if I'm using this top microphone, that's the left and right channels in this situation, using this capsule, but it's the left and right. So these labels tell you which one you're messing with. So left and right matches left and right up there. If I click that, it turns on, with the red light you can see, it turns on those microphones. So now those microphones are on and live, but it's not recording yet. All it's done is turn them on. If you want to actually record to those microphones that you've selected, you have to hit the record button. If you wanted to record from the bottom inputs, which are the ones that you could plug XLR cables into or TRS cables into, you'd have to select those and get those to light up as well. If I were to hit record right now, it would record all 4 channels at once, but there's nothing in the bottom, so I'm going to turn those off. So now all I have ready to record are the microphones on top in this capsule, and that's just seen here because the left and right ones are ready to go. The next most important thing to worry about is the gain. So these knobs on the front are all of your gain knobs. So gain is sort of the level that your microphones are picking up sound at. Kind of like volume, but it's just how sensitive your microphones are. So the higher the gain, the more sensitive the microphones are, and so the more sound it's going to be picking up. So if I were to turn this all the way up, it would be picking up sound at a really high level and probably way too loud for me to be talking this close to it. If I turn it back down, it could be at a more reasonable level, but the way to know if you're picking it up at a good level is to look at the screen and see the levels showing up. It's showing me that on the left and right channels, which are these microphones on top, I'm picking up sound about -18. That's the decibel level, but all you're really worrying about is to try to avoid having your microphone pick up sound so loudly that it's hitting the top bars. If it's hitting the top bars, it's clipping, and that's when you get when you get sound recordings that are overblown and loud. If I turned it all the way up, you'd see it get all the way up there, and then the lights start to blink telling you that it's clipping, and you don't want that. So in this situation, I have it pretty close to those bars, but not all the way there, and that's normally where you want to be. But if you're in a super loud area, you probably want to have it a little lower and talk a little louder, just to avoid picking up the room sound or anything in the area. Okay, so now we've gotten the microphone capsule set, we have them ready to go, and we've set the gain. All you have to do is now hit record. Now the device is recording, and you can see it counting up. And when I'm done recording, just hit the record button one more time, and the red light goes off, saying that I'm done recording, and you're all set. If you want to listen back to the track that you just recorded, just hit play. Now the device is recording, and you can see it counting up. Or stop. And while you're doing that, make sure that you also have those tracks still set to go. If you clicked those while it was playing back, it would turn them off And if you want to just turn them back on, you click them one more time and your audio will play again. But always whenever you're recording or playing back audio, you have to make sure that these lights are on for the right inputs. Okay, so that's good. You've recorded audio, and the final thing is just to mention mic placement. Right now, I'm recording audio to a microphone that's just off camera right here. It's the same device with the same capsule on it, and that's sort of the idea of this capsule, is to get it as close to as you can to the subject without it being in the shot, because that'll get you the clearest sound. If you can get it very close to them or just at the top of the camera even, those are generally great places to have these microphones so that you get the audio you want to get without picking up room sound by having to turn the gain all the way up so you could hear the person, but while also keeping it out of the shot. Okay, so hopefully this has helped you use your H5, and hopefully this will get you some great audio for your next film and production. Thank you.